Well, hi and welcome to my tutorial on Google Classroom. This time we're going to navigate through um, exams results. Imagine you've given your exam to students and maybe someone marked the papers and you want to know what the scores are. It is time for you to get that through Google Classroom. Now you've administered your test. Students have taken it, they've completed this test, but you want to know what they've scored. We're going to navigate through. Let's see where your test is. Can you see down where you have classroom? That's one way you can get your test. So I'm just going to show you that. Yes, this place. You see classwork. This is the classroom, and you can come to the classwork. In this classwork, if you click it, you will you'll be taken to where you have your exams, where you have your tests. Maybe you have multiple of them, but now we have just two. One is a draft and the other was given. So what I'm going to do is to click on this one. I click, and whenever you click on your exam like this, it opens to student work instruction. What you do is to go to instruction. So we'll click on instruction, and instruction brings us to the page where we have our actual exam. Remember, there is an attachment. So this attachment, let me just show you this. You see this one? This is the attachment. You are to click on it to review your scores, the student's score. Okay, so we're in this place. Whenever you reach at this junction, you are to look keenly at a couple of things. So you can see the question. I This is the question. You can see responses. Yes, this is where you can find your students' results. Of course, there is setting. You are not going to setting it again. So these are areas we will be in finding our students' results. But I will take you to another test that has exactly different results. Now, this was an exam given. This is called Super T Test 4, and this was a redo test. And how many persons actually took the test? You check here, there were 66 students writing this test. But where we are currently is in question view. So we can review these questions, but it's not important now because these students have already written the exam. All we need to do is to get our results. So what we do is to click on responses. Now we go to responses, click. Yes, there is this thing that states not accepting responses. Whenever you give your test and you notice that um, the test is still open, students are still writing it, you don't want them to continue writing this test, you can come just to this place and click on accepting responses or not accepting. There is another thing you can do at this point in time. If you've given your test, but you've realized that this test you've given um, had limited time and you want to extend it, you can come and say, yes, I'm still accepting results or responses. You click on that, but you're not accepting now. You allow it to remain. This time, no student can write a test. But let's navigate through and see what are different things we want to follow. Now, if you look at this place, you will see summary. If you look at this place, you see question and this one individual. There are two important areas I want you to go. You will be looking at summary. You will as well be looking at individual. What's the important thing about these different areas? Now, summary gives you the actual things that have happened with your entire test. If we just go down a little bit, you will see that this test was administered to this number of students, and the average for this test is like 60.545. The median is of course 60, and a student scores zero, or some students score zero, while some students score 100. So the range for the test came to be 0 to 100. We can see from this point. And of course, we can see our average here. We can see the median at this area. If we still decide to go down further, we can do analysis. There is this thing that we refer to as test analysis. So how many persons answer certain question? Was there a specific question that was very difficult? At the end of the day, you want to say, this test maybe I had problem with this question. Too many students fail it. You want to review that in class, and you want students to follow up with these different things. Therefore, you review this pattern. Okay, so the most important area, the essence of coming to this place, is to generate the scores of these students. So what have they scored? What are their different grades? When you come at this point and you click on responses, you realize that there is this place called scores, and you can see release scores. So why release scores? The students have written their exams. It is possible that some of them didn't see their actual scores when they completed the exam. Maybe their phone had a problem or so. So what you do is to click release and allow their scores to reach to them individually. Because this one, you see your email, I just canceled their names because I don't want you to know who they are. And you want to see the email is there. So when you click release score, individually they're going to receive their individual scores. But what did they get? You may have recorded their information, their names on maybe within Excel. Maybe you have your notepad and so your roster. You want to record this score there. So what you do is to come right here and start to take the scores. Remember, the fact that they've used their institution's email, it means their names will be attached to their email address. So you can just distinguish it from that. You can see maybe their ID number, or you see their name, the name going to be there. This is one area you can get it from. So you can now come and take it from here, just import it to where you want to import it. That's how you review the different scores for these students. You can get these scores, you can now record it, and you move forward with it. The next thing you want to do is to review individual student test paper. How you do that? Well, remember we talked about individual here. You can see this. So individual right here. There is this student who is coming to you and like concluding that, hey, I did my test, I may have scored a better mark, the system marked me wrong, I want to see my test paper. It's no big deal. Come to individual and you can navigate to the student name. This student is here, and you can just check for there are different students. The student will range from 1 to 66. So as you move, you want to be seeing different names. You want to see different names coming up, and each name, any name you see right here, you can just navigate, go down, and then you're going to see the test paper. You will see what that student has done, and you can now just move on to talking about it, discussing it with the student. And there is this important thing I want to share with you on the test. Sometimes the student will write this exam, and the student will go and see, you look at this place, the system actually marked this student like wrong. It's like, are you not right? You're wrong. And the student went and saw the X mark on his or her paper, the test results saying that you're wrong. So you as the lecturer, don't talk plenty. Come to the student paper and review it. You see, this one, the student got it correct, and their score is 10 over 10, and it's marked correct. This one, the student actually got it correct, and it's 10 over 10. Can you see 10 over 10? Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. You see, the student got 10 over 10. But again, the system pretended like, this student didn't get it correct. Why did it say so? Why is it saying a student didn't get it correct whenever you know that it's correct? Apparently, this student wrote the test at the time the exam was about to be over, so it actually considered the student, but then it said you were almost late to submit this question. So that these are things you want to see, and if the student didn't get something correct, you will actually see that the student didn't get it correct. So this one, the student actually failed this question, and the correct answer was shown right down there. So that's how you review the student paper. You see where they've had some problems, you will see it, and you can just discuss it with them. Because it's online system, some students will take advantage of it and say, no, the system marked me wrong, I had it correct, but the test paper is here. You can actually review it. Guys, this is how you're going to go through um, reviewing your test papers, getting the student score, and moving forward with it. There is another thing you can do with the test, and I'm going to show you that you don't have to come here. You can import these grades directly to Google platform, Google Classroom in the original class. So see you next time for another video. You can just make comment as to which video you want, and I'm just going to do it on Google Classroom.